This is Randolph Love III, and you listening to the Entreprenudist podcast, the place to hear real entrepreneurs and business owners bear it all. And you know, I like playing around with the format. So what I'm deciding to do is, at least for now, within the first few minutes, I'm going to put you on something that's going to help you immediately. You know, give you some games, some stuff that I be learning from people. And I heard this from a couple people. Sam, a guy that I check out on YouTube by the name of Sam Ovens. Also another guy that I check out that I first found on YouTube, and I'm now a part of the mastermind group, Doug Andrew. Basically, who are you? A lot of people might say that they know who they are. Some people say you are whatever you do the most. Some people say you are whoever you hang around with the most. But whoever you hang around with the most just so happens to fall under whatever you do the most. So you are whatever you do the most. How to find out what you do the most? All right, so some people say set your alarm for every 30 minutes. Some people say set your alarm for every hour. I'm a set your alarm for every hour type of guy. So what you do is every hour that you're awake, you set an alarm to go off. Every hour on the hour. You do this for 7 days straight. Every time this alarm goes off, you write down what you did for that past hour. And then, boom, it goes on and on. So every hour that you awake, so boom, 12 p.m. What did you do that past hour? You might have ate breakfast. You might have checked your email. Boom, 1 p.m. What did you do that past hour? You might have went to the store. You might have called a friend. You might have called a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a girlfriend, a boyfriend. An entanglement, perhaps. But regardless, whatever you did that past hour, you write it down and you do that for 7 days straight. Then you look at the list. What did you do the most? That's who you are. Whatever you did the most, that's who you are. Do you like who you are? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But this is how you decide. This is how I decide if I like who I am. I look at whatever is in my GPS. And a lot of us know exactly what a GPS is. I think it stands for Global Positioning System, maybe. I don't know. But basically, if you want to go anywhere nowadays, you know, I'm 35, so I still remember the days when you had to map quest it, or you had to call and get landmarks, and you figured out how to get there. But with GPS, in order to get somewhere, you have to first put in an address, right? And it's not until you put in that address that the GPS cuts on and tell you exactly when to go left, when to go right, when to go straight. But without putting in that address, that GPS can't help you. This advanced technology that's getting information from satellites miles away in space cannot help you if you don't first put in an address. So this is how I determine if I like who I am. Is what I'm doing most of the time contributing to me getting to my destination? If I claim I want to be a top executive, but the majority of the day I'm watching a Netflix series, I can't tell you what's on the quarterly report, but I can tell you what happened on Ted Lasso. Or whatever other series is out there. I just so happen to like that show. Ted Lasso is a good show, by the way, y'all. If you're looking for a good show to watch. But yeah, so the first step to change is self-awareness. So if you do this exercise, you will be very aware of who you are. Uh, if you're gonna like who you find out who you are, I don't know. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But here's the thing: the first step to change is first to be made aware. Self-awareness. And I'm not telling you to be better. I'm not telling you take this information so you can be better. I'm telling you, if you don't like this information that you find out, take this information so you can be different. Different doesn't have to mean better, but different can make all the difference as it relates to how you feel. All right. And that's me in the first 5. Thank you so much for coming to the Entreprenudist podcast. Can you tell everybody who you are, what you do, and something most people might not know about you?
All right. I appreciate you having me. My name is Oscar. I'm one half co-owner of Lou and Lee Events and Designs. Um, we are party planners, event designers, balloon artists. We're based out of Atlanta, Georgia. Um, I'm trying to see. Some most people don't know about me. I'm scared to fly, so I haven't been on the airplane yet.
Ever.
Ever.
Hey man, it might be a Duval thing, man, but because it took me a long time. I didn't fly my first on my first plane into my late 20s.
Yeah, and I'm 32, so
But there you go,
yeah.
man. And you don't got that far to go. But speaking of that, because I'm gonna get into how we ended up meeting each other online, right? But after we met in like a networking app, a new networking app, Clubhouse. I'm gonna ask you about your experiences with that. But we met, and when you meet somebody in a networking environment, you try to stay real professional. So I was cruising your Instagram page, and I say, this man from my city. So I said, hey man, in my head, this is what I heard myself say. Hey guy, we used to cohabitate in the same city of Jacksonville, Florida. And then you hit me back with Duval. And I said, oh, what's up, cuz? What's up, man? Let's talk. so
Right.
are you a Duval, Jacksonville, Florida native?
Yeah, I am born and raised there. I didn't leave until 2006 when I went out to college in Orlando at UCF, but born and raised in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay, so you went from Jacksonville to UCF, and UCF, is that like in the Orlando area?
Yeah, Central Florida,
Okay.
Orlando.
What made you leave beautiful Florida and relocate to Atlanta?
Because I've been everywhere in Florida. I literally been to Orlando, Tampa, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, Miami. We got family all over Florida, so I just needed a change of scenery. And then at the time, and still now, Atlanta's like thriving, but like it's the new Black Hollywood, and so I also do a little bit of acting. So I wanted to pursue that a little bit, but Atlanta just seemed where it was. I mean, I love Duval and everything, but it just ain't the same opportunity that Atlanta has.
Absolutely. But tell me this: do you take something that you learned from your time in Jacksonville up to Atlanta to where it affects how you move? That you maybe don't typically see other people moving the same way?
Um, I think they're a lot more friendlier up here than than Jacksonville. Jacksonville, you gotta feel your way out. You gotta kind of feel your way through people. Like, I mean, it's a cool city. Don't get me wrong, but like everybody's not as friendly. And so up here in Atlanta, everybody they kind of like to hug and stuff. I'm more of a let's shake hands or let's dap it up or whatever. But they like to hug up here, and I was like, I'm still getting used to that. They was like, oh, you don't hug? I'm like, I ain't really no hugger. But okay.
You know what it is, because like just like you, I love it. I love Duval. But what it is in Atlanta, they seen the unicorn more because
Mm-hmm.
everybody unicorns exist. To us the unicorn is a mythical creature. To them, they just saw the unicorn in what's the name of what's their version of Publix? Uh,
Kroger.
They just saw the unicorn in Kroger. You see what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
joke, that Dave Chappelle has. He says, the man in his town says, hey, honey, the guy from the store is on TV. He said, no, the guy from the TV is in your store. Is
Yeah,
that
they do. They are. You see celebrities like it's nothing up here. They walk around like normal people. And if a celebrity from Atlanta was to come down to Jacksonville, they get starstruck. Up here, it's just the everyday normal. You really do just see anybody. And it's just like they don't even walk up to them for autographs. You just see them all the time.
so? Tell me, did your business pursuit start after you relocated to Atlanta?
Officially, yeah. When I was down in Jacksonville, I was still in high school. Like I said, I left right after high school, went off to college. So I used to do little stuff here and there, not really in the event planning field, but I used to do like some dibble and dabble like interior decorating, like helping my mama and daddy around the house with little stuff, changing my room, this and the third. But I always kind of been like a creative person, even from like third grade on up, because that's when I first decided I wanted to do like architecture. So design is always something I always did, but not on the event planning side.
Mm-hmm. So you say that's when you got official. In your
Mm-hmm.
opinion, what threshold did you cross that in your mind you said, all right, I'm official now?
So when I had people, my coworkers, so I have a business partner. So he not here, but when my business partner, another guy, when we met up, we linked and we had the same interests, and then we kind of had like the same type of kind of vibe. And then so I was already doing like little stuff party wise for like my coworkers at my old job. And then when he came along and he added on to it, and then we just started getting like word of mouth. We started doing stuff for family, his family, my family, then some of his coworkers. I was like, okay, legit, legit. But when we got our LLC back in 2017, that's when I felt like, oh, we real, real. We've been doing it for years, but I felt real legit after the LLC.
Yeah, it's like a mindset change because
Yeah.
just like you said, you was operating, you were making money, both you and your business
Hmm.
partners as sole proprietors, but
Right.
once you got that LLC, it was like a click,
Yeah.
and it's psychological. So, what have you found to be the benefits and the disadvantages of having a business partner?
Having a business partner. Uh,
Yeah. Oh, so that answer both of them.
so it's cool whenever I can, if I ever get like into a creative block, I got somebody else I can feed off of. Like he can shoot me another idea, but that can also be a bad side because I have an idea, but then you got your own idea. So now I got to compromise on what I'm thinking it's a really good idea and bring yours into it.
Hmm.
But it's a benefit because it's an extra muscle. I don't have to really worry about doing stuff on my own. Or if I can't make an event, I feel confident in him that he can do it, and it'll still be the same way if I was there. Um, it really ain't too many downsides to it outside of it's just another person. Then when it comes to the money, you do have to split the money. So I guess
Hmm.
that'll be a downside too. If it was just me, I would pocket more. But we kind of put a lot of money back into the business,
Yeah.
so it's not that bad. I missed like a 25% that I would normally get.
Yeah, and I agree with you, man. I think having a business partner, the only seeming bad side, because that's one of the things that is subjective, is having
Hmm.
to collaborate. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Some people might say compromise. Some people might say collaborate. Some people might say um, be diplomatic about it. But that
Hmm.
is one of the things. But everything else seems like it benefits you because you have
Hmm.
you able to bounce back and forth with somebody. You have a larger network of people, like you said. Y'all are doing it with
Hmm.
your coworkers, with your families, with your friends.
Hmm.
Beautiful thing. What made you get into? Because and correct me if I'm wrong, because I know you do events too. But
Hmm.
when I look at your page, and what first draw me to you was your unique balloon designs. I actually have it up here on my other screen. What
Hmm.
made you want to specialize in that? Because it seems like that's what y'all specialize in, the unique balloon designs.
Yeah, so it was actually the money aspect, to be honest, because when we was when we was doing event planning, we wasn't offering balloons, so we would always have to outsource it to somebody else, and that was money we was missing out on. And so then what happened is my brother's girlfriend down in Jacksonville was doing balloons, and so my mama hit me up. She was like, "Hey, if Shanika can do balloons, you can do balloons too. You just need to go ahead and try it." And I was like, I don't know, that joint just seems so tedious. So I was like, all right, let me just try it. And after I tried it, it really was just that simple. So I took to it real easy. And then I just, whenever I got spare time, I just practiced. And then after that, I was like, oh, this is pretty basic. Let me just see what else I can do. So I just started doing different stuff. Even still now, I practice all the time. And so it's not a lot of people do the type of designs we do, as far as like the alligators, the tigers, and stuff like that. A lot of people can do columns and garlands and, just the regular stuff, but not a lot of people do like the structure type side. And so that's kind of why people are taking to us now. And then you don't really see a lot of guys in the event planning industry anyways. It's really saturated with women. So when they see guys, they kind of just take to it anyways.
Oh, like affirmative action. Like, all right, we gonna get the guys a shot. We only work with the women. We like what Lou and Leah doing. Let's see. Let's go ahead and bring them over.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So I saw that you recently dismantled like that lion that you mentioned. You had a name for it? Leo. So how long do your creations last? Like how long before they start either getting smaller, or does that even happen based off your process?
Yeah, so depending on the quality of balloons, but when we're doing like structures like Leo, like what you saw, them can last they can last a couple of months, just depending on like the temperature of the environment they're in. If it's not being touched and it's a nice room temperature, things like that, it's not fluctuating between going inside and outside. It can last some months. The only reason why I took Leo down the other day is because it was in my guest room. I got OCD. I got tired of walking past him. He's sizing me up like this his house. So I was like, let me go ahead and deflate this down. But nah, seriously, they can last for a couple of months.
So I just heard you mention something. You said fluctuating. A balloon, and let me know if I'm hearing you correctly. Your creations that somebody might purchase from y'all can last for a long time as long as the temperature stays consistent. Not necessarily as long as it's hot or cold, as long as it's consistently cold or consistently hot.
Well, I mean, more so like not going inside and outside. So when you bring the balloons outside, no matter what the temperature is, it's something called oxidation. The balloons start changing colors, and they're gonna start deflating at some point. So if they stay inside, and then they'll last longer. So nah, not inside, outside. No, if you take them outside, after a couple of days, they're gonna start deflating.
Got it. So it's typically a process called oxidation that makes balloons start to deflate
and change color. Right.
Hey, see, and I'm glad you said that, because now, I cut these videos into segments, and then I can say, what is oxidation? ? And then now we got now I got some content. Appreciate you, man. You did that for me. You did that for everybody. All right, so you mentioned the quality of the balloon. Can someone walk into the typical Family Dollar or Dollar General and get quality balloons?
No, sir. So you'll get some balloons, and they may last you a week when we're doing whatever structure. But it's just, and they may also deflate on you a lot during the process. Like they tend to pop easily. Like when you're putting stress on them, as far as like trying to tie them to whatever it is you're trying to fit into, they tend to bust a lot easier. So don't get me wrong, like there's nothing wrong with them, because I used them in the beginning as well, and they did what they needed to do. But as you stay in the business owner, you learn more, and so you'll know that even your party city balloons, they're not the best balloons as well. They'll last, but they just not gonna last as well if you go to like a store that specializes in nothing but balloons, like my local vendor here, PS Helium. You walk in there now, them balloons gonna last. You order from some sites online like Bargain Balloons, online balloons, places like that. They last a lot longer. But even Amazon, those balloons ain't gonna last like that. So it just depends. But to answer your question, you can't just walk into Dollar Tree, Walmart, and get the same quality balloons. No.
So are you one of those people where as soon as you saw I think you said PS Helium,
Hmm.
as soon as you saw they had you were getting a better outcome, are you one of those people that went in to investigate what the material was, or are you one of them people like it works, I'm sticking with this vendor, I don't care why it's better, but based off my experience, it's better?
No, so actually, one of PS Helium, they carry different brands of balloons, but they carry this line called Tough Text. I had never heard of Tough Text balloons, but the owner of Tough Text, she reached out to me via Instagram when she saw some of our work. I can't remember what post she saw, but she was like, "Hey, I want to send you some samples. I like your work." Uh, she sent me some samples. I got them. She told me she asked me how I felt about them. I was like, "Oh, I really like them, and I like this color palette. I haven't seen these color balloons before." And so she was like, "Well, I actually have a local vendor in your city." I was like, "Oh, really?" She was like, "Yeah, PS Helium." She gave me the address. These people, they're literally 5 minutes around the corner from me. I'm like,
And
I've
you
been
never knew.
struggling all the, never knew. And so I went in there the very next day. I saw the balloon line, and after that, I just stuck with them. I rarely order anything or get balloons outside of them unless they don't have the color in stock.
Mm-hmm. And I mentioned, I noticed on your profile that you shoot them out. Like
Yeah,
you let them. Hey, this is where I got my stuff from, and I think you even
yeah.
mentioned another vendor. Why do you do that? Like, because some people in your position with
Hmm.
a quality product might
Hmm.
try to keep that to themselves. What made you want to share that?
I mean, honestly, I'm not no crab in a bucket. I feel like it's a lot of money out here for everybody. I know I can't do 30 parties in Atlanta a day, and so I also teach balloon classes myself now. And so I have a lot of people who take my classes here in Atlanta, and so I'm just like, okay, well, this is where I got them from. And also when they go to when they go to PS Helium, they mention my name or whatever. It just builds a better rapport between me and the store owners and people there. And like I said, I ain't no crab in a bucket. I don't care about somebody else doing the same thing. Everybody's trying to eat out
Exactly. And I agree with you, and I feel the same way. And it's just one of those reciprocity things. When you do something
here.
for
Hmm.
somebody, uh, you just drawn to want to return the favor. And I'm pretty
Right.
sure you benefit from just being a genuinely giving and sharing person, and therefore
Yeah.
you get back. For example, that's uh, and just to give people some insight how we came across, we met in a new app where it's new to me and I think it's new to most people, Clubhouse.
Yeah.
What has been your experience with Clubhouse?
So I actually have loved everything about it. And I'm not just saying that Clubhouse is not paying me to say this. I really love everything I have come across so far because everybody on there, we all in the same industry, but we're in different cities, some in the same city, but they're sharing the knowledge that they know. And this is stuff that people do workshops and webinars that cost lots and lots of money to get the same information. And they're sharing it on there for free just because it's out the kindness of their heart. And I'm doing the same thing. So it's a lot of people. We're just building rapport, and like you said, I just got on there the other day. I believe the meeting you was in was my first meeting, and I ended up meeting a girl around the corner from me who's she just opened up a new venue. You around the corner from me, this easy for me to refer customers over there. You'll give me a break when I need to do what we call a style shoot. That's a fake party, but you make it look real. And so I was able to go talk to her the very next day, and we already set stuff up. So it's really good to network with people, free information that's good information. And I haven't heard anything crazy yet. I don't just believe everything I hear, but everything that I heard so far has checked out.
Yeah. So 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 and that's and I think the meeting that I met you in was the first time I got on stage. And just to let people know what on stage means is when so when you first go into a room, you're in the audience and you're just listening. Once you get on stage, you don't have to speak, but you have the option of speaking. And the people who follow you also see that you're in a speaking capacity, and they might come to the room to hear you talk. And that's how we came across. And that energy that you say that's there of everybody openly sharing, I had to get used to it because when I spoke, multiple people in the room started following my page, right?
Mhm.
And me just coming from the normal way of thinking and social, hey, y'all DM me, let me know that's y'all, so I'll follow you back. They're
Mhm.
like, man, follow us back. Ain't nobody following you. Follow us back.
Yeah, I
But
remember
but you were
that.
one of the people that actually DM'd me. So
Mhm.
in that instance
Mhm.
of, because DMing somebody first is
Mhm.
kind of a tough move,
Yeah.
especially in not just the professional mind, the personal.
Right.
Is that something you naturally do, or did you have to overcome a fear to be able to just jump out first?
Yeah, I ain't even gonna lie. The only reason why I DM'd you first is for one, because you said do it. But then when I scrolled through your post and I saw Jacksonville, I said, oh, okay, he really is from Duval. Okay, or he has some type of affiliation. So I was like, okay, I can relate to this dude. But I'm not the one to reach out first. Even now, I'm still not the one. I'm really shy. And I think just like most people don't like rejection. And so if I see you read my message and it says seen and you haven't said anything, it does something to me. I shouldn't let it affect me like that, but I'm human, and
Mm-hmm.
so I tend to not reach out first. Even when we was in the Clubhouse app, the lady who you was talking about who told you, man, it's us following you. Go ahead and accept. She had asked me for days to get on, and I'm like, I don't know. I hate talking in front of people. I was nervous to do this podcast today. I'm like, but you know what? Let me just go ahead and do it. So Clubhouse has kind of helped me get ready for this today, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the one to reach out first. I'm usually not the one because for rejection purposes, whatever the
Mm.
case may be.
Can you think of a specific failure that you had, how you overcame it, and how it might be benefiting you now?
Oh, definitely. In college, I took a speech communication class for this reason. I knew that I never would want it to be like in the I know this sounds so cliche, but I never really considered myself a follower. I always kind of been leading in pretty much everything I did, even with sports. I was always like even the captain or a co-captain, this and third. So that was kind of instilled in me from my dad. So when I took the speech communication class, I was nervous. I didn't want to talk in front of people, and we had to do speeches all the time in front of the entire class. I'm a freshman but the class was mixed with like seniors and juniors and whatever the case may be. And so my first speech, I got out there. Boy, I looked so dumb. I looked so dumb out there. I couldn't even get nothing out. I was like, what? I just forgot everything out my mind. But then as the course went on, I ended up passing it with a B. I was able to then take what I learned in that speech communication class, talking in front of people, and apply it to my jobs. And then I was able to get like leadership roles in corporate America, what you would call, because I work for Apple. So I was able to get like roles as like senior advisors, things like that. And that also then helped me with the business, being able to talk to clients face to face. So I'm still not all the way over it, but taking that speech communication class and just looking real dumb at first, in my opinion, in front of everybody, not being able to say nothing, to not be able to do this podcast with you and give classes. Like I said, I give classes online, virtual classes for balloons, and being able to talk to like, it could be anywhere between 60 and 70 people in the class at once, and being able to talk to those people. So I really feel like I progressed that way.
And I'm glad you mentioned something, because I don't think people who aspire to get leadership roles, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe for whatever reason it just hasn't happened yet. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if people typically associate going to a speech communication class with advancing. Like they
Mm-hmm.
might work on a bunch of other skills related to their job, but
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily better ways to communicate with people. Did
Mm-hmm.
you know that from jump that going to that speech, taking that speech communication class would make you advance into leadership, or was it a pleasant surprise?
No, it actually was a pleasant surprise. And to be honest, I only took that class because I had no choice. I was there on an academic scholarship. I waited to the last minute to sign up for my classes. So there was like, you got two choices. You either gonna take this class or take some photography class. I was like, that sounds like I'm gonna have to get in front of people and take pictures. No, I'm good. Let me take this speech communication class because I didn't want to get in front of people and have to pose. So I took that class, and then as I was taking, even at that time, I didn't really appreciate it. I just was like, I need to take this class to keep the scholarship. And so I didn't appreciate it till years later. I was like, oh, this really helped out. This really, really helped me out.
So something that seemingly was, I have no choice, ended
Mm-hmm.
up being a pivotal moment in your life.
Definitely.
When I came to the room, the clubhouse room, you were
Mm-hmm.
talking about logo placement. And because a big part of your
Mm-hmm.
industry is the image. And when
Mm-hmm.
influencers and big websites post your picture, that
Mm-hmm.
means more business for you. But
Right.
you were having a conversation about what you learned about placing your image in order to
Mm-hmm.
get more placements. Is there
Mm-hmm.
anything that you can share with people who are in an industry where they really want influencers to grab their image, but they also want to also keep a some sort of a logo or signature? What have you
Mm-hmm.
learned?
So uh it's crazy. It's like a catch-22 because when I place my logos on images, we have what's balloon blogs, like companies that repost your work, this and the third. But I notice whenever I put my logo on the picture, I don't know if it's something that they can't repost because it has my logo. They don't typically repost it. But if I put a picture up without my logo, the balloon blogs, they will repost it. Now, when it comes to like the influencers, I'm working with one guy right now, Keith Dorsey. Is his real name, but he goes by Young Gun CEO. If you're familiar with like any of the up and coming influencers like Robbie World and this and the third, a lot of their videos they're doing right now, they're doing it in front of the balloon garland that I did for them a couple of weeks ago, and it was also featured in the New York Times newspaper a couple of weeks ago. And
Congratulations.
so I appreciate it. That was a big deal. And like so I haven't I haven't had anybody reach out to me and say they came from that, but I definitely got more followers because whenever Keith reposts my work, I'm definitely like appreciate it, appreciate the love, blah blah blah. But I'm looking at some of the followers. I'm like, yeah, these boys look young, or these girls look really young. They must have just came to see who I was, and so my following is picking up. I don't know if I got any business yet, but me and him don't work together 3 times, and we actually gonna work together a fourth time this week. And so yeah, I would say still me, I'm gonna still put my logo on it just because I want you to know that my name. I think it is a strategic way to post your logo. You ain't got to make it big across the thing because it takes away from whatever it is that you're posting. But typically, I kind of when I'm doing balloon work, I'll put it real small in like a corner of a balloon. You'll still notice it, but it's just not the first thing you notice because I don't want to take away from what it is that I'm really showing.
So it sounds like uh, the best way to put it is it don't have to be huge
Yeah,
because it might take away from the art. But
right.
try to find a way to strategically place it in your photo to
Mm-hmm.
where people might find it, almost like a Where's Waldo.
Pretty
But
much.
you increase your chances of getting posted by influencers when it's not so flamboyant.
Right, right.
Perfect. Perfect. How long? Because I heard you mention that when your mother first mentioned it to you,
Mm-hmm.
you was thinking that it would be tedious.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it typically take you to put together a creation? And what tools that you have that if you didn't have it, you don't know what you would do?
It really just depends on what it is. If it's a balloon column, just something basic, the little spirals, I can knock that out in like 15, 20 minutes. They don't take no time. I have a air machine, which I got from Amazon. But I'm at the point where I'm at now, I can kind of eyeball it to see like what's the size of the balloons. When you're doing those typically have to be around the same size. Um, but an air machine makes it a lot faster because I can blow up 2 balloons at once. Now, when I'm doing more complex designs like Leo the lion you saw, that took me a couple of hours because I'm still using the air machine, but I'm also blowing some up by mouth because the air machine blows it up so fast it'll make it too big. And so I'm typically when it's like that, I'm blowing it up by mouth so I can control the amount of air that goes in it. Now that took me like 5 hours to do him, and it probably could have took me shorter, but I wasn't just sitting there for 5 hours straight doing it. I was taking breaks, this and the third. But when it gets complex like that, it definitely can take some time. And then, like I said, I also work a full-time job, so I can't just be sitting here just doing this. Balloons ain't paying me that type of money yet.
Not yet, but coming soon, coming soon. So
yeah.
what factors go into your pricing? Like when somebody reaches out to you and say, we want to hire you and your business partner. What are some of the first questions you ask to make sure that you're pricing this the right way?
I'm asking, is it inside or outside? If it's outside, you need different quality balloons, and you also need different hardware, meaning stuff to keep it intact and hold together. I need to know what's the color scheme, because if you're looking for a color that I don't have or a color that's not just typically used, then I have to customize that by doing something called double stuffing, and that's when you have to put one color balloon inside of another balloon to make a custom color. So just like, you mix like yellow and green or yellow and blue and get green, whatever it is, I can't think off the top of my head. Like with a crayon, it's the same thing with a balloon. You put one balloon inside of another. Now, when you blow it up, it's gonna make a whole different color, and then that's more material, so it drives the price up. Then I need to know if you're trying to add 24 and 36-inch balloons. That's also balloons. Typically, most people use is like 11 inches to 12 inches, but when you want to use 24 and 36-inch balloons, then that drives the cost up as well. Also, I need to know if you want to use just latex balloon or if you want to use chrome and metallic. Those two also drive the price up. So, but those are some of the first ones I need to know. It's not so much as the color or how long it's gonna be. I just really need to know the type of material, what it is.
So, do you have because I know you regardless of what material it is, chrome, metallic, latex. You're using the highest quality based off your experience and the vendors that you're using. Do you have a preferred material?
Yeah, so it's all latex, but I think what you're asking me, like if I have a preferred vendor, and I do.
Oh no.
No.
You just answered my question, because when I heard you say chrome and that, I was assuming it was different material, but it's all latex. It's just the top coating, I guess.
Yeah, it's just the top coating. Really, it's like shiny. So metallic is shiny, but chrome actually looks like rims, if you will. It looks like real shiny rims, platinum rims, whatever you want to be. Metallic gives you like a metal look, and regular latex, a regular gray, is just gonna look real matte, real dull. But it's all still latex.
So your clients, when they reach out to y'all, do they typically already have the idea in mind, or do they come to you and say, do what y'all do?
So at first, they would come to us and be like, they think they know what they want. They'll try to describe it, this and the third. But now, as of lately, I guess they kind of seeing what we're doing. They were like, hey, this is what my theme is. Do whatever you wanted to do. Just do whatever you want to do. Tell me how much it's gonna be, which is great. I don't really like when the customer comes too much with their own thoughts, because it's never really what unless they in the industry, unless they really know what they're talking about. I kind of like to just do what I want to do. I'm gonna still do what they want me to do, but kind of bring it all together. So most customers now, they be like, oh, just do whatever you want to do. I saw your last thing. I don't care. Just ignore whatever I'm saying. Do whatever you want to do. I'm like, okay, bet.
So at first they think they know what they want, but when you ask, because they say yes without how means nothing. So
right.
When they say what they want, and then you say, well, how do you expect me to do that? Is that what usually gets them to
yeah.
At your price point, because it's either fast, it's either it can be fast and cheap, or it can be long and quality. What you want?
Right.
Or you can pay more money and get it all. What do you want?
Yeah.
Oh, this is your budget?
Yeah.
How do you expect me to do that? And then that's when they say, do what you want to do.
Yeah.
That's good.
When they come and they want these extravagant designs, and I'm like, oh, I'm thinking like $150. I'm like, where
Come
you
again.
getting that at? Yeah, like, huh? Because you're gonna spend $150 on just the balloons to buy it.
Absolutely.
You're not thinking about all the time that it takes for me to construct this and the third. Unless they in the industry, then they kind of know, or they had parties done before. But like I asked some of my friends who don't do it the other day, last week, matter of fact, I just wanted to kind of see because they don't know. I was like, how much y'all think Leo costs? How much would you pay for this? They're like $100. I'm like, bro, get out my face. Like this thing is gonna run you like $400. What you mean $100? You know how long it took me to do this? How
Mm.
detailed this is? They're like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So they're like, okay, it makes sense. It makes sense. But yeah, customers don't really know.
I heard you mention something earlier, a style shoot. What is that?
So a style shoot is just pretty much it can be just your company, but most of the time you get different companies collaborating together, and whenever they specialize in whatever area, you get together and you put on a fake party. So there's not any attendees. You're just setting up the table, setting up everything as if though somebody really was coming just to get pictures so people can see what it is that you do.
Ah. So all right. So the people who typically set up style shoots are event planners.
Yeah, or it can be photographers who wants to now take pictures. They want to get like they may just take pictures of models right now, and they want to get pictures of like work, like showing that I can take pictures of designers' work as well. So they may be like, hey, can you do a style shoot? I'll pay for everything. I just want to come in and just take the pictures, and I'll give you the pictures for free as well. So you benefit from that because you now got some more to add to your portfolio, and you're helping them out because they get to add this to their portfolio now.
Got it. And so I heard you mention that you and your partner started doing balloons as a necessity for your
Yeah,
event planning business.
yeah.
Which do you prefer to do? Because I know the balloons come with a lot of events.
Mm-hmm.
But if you had the choice of this business just exploded,
Mm-hmm.
would you prefer it be the balloons or the event planning as a whole?
Oh, balloons all day. Balloons all day. The event planning side is cool. It just gets real tedious when it comes to placements of plates, napkins, working with vendors to get in chairs, this and the third. When it comes to the balloons, that's solely just on me and him. And then we just come in, do our part, set up, and go. We don't really have to typically stay there all day. You know, we just come up, put it up, and then we'll come back to break it down if necessary. Um, and you made just as much money on just the balloon side uh, as you do on the event planning side because balloons it's a hot commodity. Like everybody wants these balloons, and so like you're in high demand, and so like they're really willing to pay for these balloons. When we was just doing events, like I would have to do a whole setup for the price that I just did Leo. Um, I'm like, I got to bring in these chairs, I got to bring in these tables, I got to do all this hard work. And with Leo, you know, I mean, it took some time, but it's a lot more easy. I'm doing it at the convenience in my home. I'm comfortable when I'm doing it. All I got to do is just move it. And so,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm making the same amount of money.
Specialized knowledge. That's one of the things that I really try to, for lack of a better word, preach. Uh, General knowledge is great.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to have general knowledge. You can cut on Jeopardy and you can answer right before all the contestants. I mean, you can kill it. But specialized knowledge, you can do something like what you do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the first step of putting together Leo,
Mm-hmm.
but you do it and it seems easy to you.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to take something that you love to do that seems easy to you, and you're able to charge upwards of $400, just like you
Right.
said, and people will pay it because it's something that they can't do, but they admire it.
Right.
Who is your partner? And to use a term that people are starting to use nowadays, what do you think his superpower is?
So my partner, his name is Larry Massey. His superpower, he's good with talking to people. He really comes onto the admit. He really is good with the administrative side, talking to the customers, this and the third. I can talk to customers, this and the third, but again, I'm really shy. I don't really like to do the back and forth. I like for you to just tell me what it is, let me do my job, and you keep it moving. I don't mind chopping it up a little bit with you, talking with you, but I kind of just want you to tell me, let me do it, this and the third. He'll sit there for hours and talk to you all day. And I'm just like, Yeah, so can we get to this so I can go ahead and do it? So he's really good at that, and he's good with the creative process, like as far as drawing out the blueprints to what we can do, like this here and the third. So he's good on that part, and I'm also like the muscle. Like I'll go ahead and make it happen, but he comes up with a lot of the concepts.
Perfect. Is there anything that you know now that you wish you knew when you first started?
Definitely. Not mixing friends with business. It's so cliche. People hear that all the time, this and the third. But I lost people who I thought were good friends, and I've seen how we got taken advantage of. And so I tend to really not to not even try to cross that path now. I still will do events for my friends, but it's real far in between. Like I really rather them go to somebody else just because we have that personal relationship, and I don't want that to be affected by it, like how I've seen it happen in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Because even family, they expect you to discount everything for them, but they will go to the next person and pay top dollar and not even get nowhere near the same quality. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, are you serious?
Oh yeah, man. See, and it's one of the way I feel about that is it's okay that for a friend or family member to ask me for a discount, but
Mm-hmm.
they also got to be okay with me saying no
Right.
if that should
And
happen. You see what I'm
and
saying?
that's the thing. When you say no, now you acting funny. You think you too good.
Hey man, but the right people stick around. The right people stick
Right.
around. Man, thank you. You shared so much. You shared so much, and I'm glad that you are doing what you're doing. Anybody that's listening or watching us right now, they definitely need to go and check out your work. It's beautiful. It's breathtaking. I had to stop and I was looking, and I think I was just looking like in amazement, and I'm a grown man looking at balloons, but balloons were, since we were kids, have been
Mm-hmm.
associated with celebration.
Right.
I saw on your page
Mm-hmm.
that you prefer to one of your preferred events to do is kids parties.
Right.
What made you say that?
Kids parties. I'm still a big kid at heart. Like I'm still childish. I'm real. I'm real childish, and my business partner is too. Like we real, just real laid back. We're not the uptight event planners. We not wearing the suits, this and the third. Like we in our sweats, we in our joggers, and we just knock it out. We regular everyday dudes. And so when we go to the kids party, it kind of just gives us time to just really relax and get really creative, and do stuff and tap back into our childhood, that we things that we wanted to do and our mom and dad wasn't able to do or didn't know about at the time. And now we had the knowledge and we go in and kind of make that happen for them. So kids parties is just a lot more relaxed. It doesn't need to be perfect. You can turn your mistake into something else in the process while doing a kids party versus a wedding. You may this stuff
Woo!
ain't play. You don't, this placement ain't right, that bride finna notice, some bridesmaids about to notice, and you finna be talked about.
Hey,
And so
hey,
kids parties, yeah,
hey, that's what I be telling the people that's in the wedding industry. Listen, it's great money, but you better have your E&O, errors and omission insurance. It better be
yeah,
set because them
yeah,
brides get mad.
yes, yes, yes.
And
They
the
get
grooms
mad.
too. You have
Yeah,
some what's the male word for bridezilla? Is there a male word for bridezilla?
Groomzilla or
uh,
Devo
uh
maybe,
groom
or
Congo,
Devo, yeah.
grooms, whatever. But is there any last words that you would like to share with the entrepreneurs audience?
Yeah. You guys can follow us on all our social media. We typically use Facebook and Instagram, and we're getting into TikTok now. But it's Lou, and AND, Lee, LEE, events and designs with the S. It's long,
Yeah.
but LOUANDLEE, events and designs, and you can find us there. Um, and again, we do more than just balloons, but people are noticing us for balloons now. And balloons aren't just for children parties; they can be for weddings, they can be for repasts, funerals. they have multi-uses now, so don't just get trapped in that mind frame like, oh, I need this for a child. They can be used for any event at this time.
And I see it looks like it's a hashtag that y'all normally use, because I was looking for one of the shortest ones but unique ones. Lou and Lee, LOUANDLEE hashtag. And I'm assuming y'all probably put that hashtag on a lot of stuff.
Yes, or we have our business motto is hashtag real men decorate. So
there you go.
Type that in, that's unique to us. At least I haven't seen anybody else that just kind of come up. But if you put in hashtag real men decorate, a lot of our work come up on Instagram.
Hashtag REALMENDECORATE. Thank you so much, Oscar, for coming on the Entreprenudist podcast. We are going to keep in touch, man. Whenever you and your business goes into another level, another type of business, anything that you want to publicize, reach out to the Entreprenudist podcast. We'll be happy to have you, and you, my fellow Duval brethren. So definitely.
Yes, sir. I appreciate the opportunity to definitely stay in touch.
Absolute.
Yes, sir.
That was an amazing conversation, of many more conversations to come. You have been listening to the Entreprenudist podcast, the place to hear real entrepreneurs and business owners bear it all. Gotta make another couple $100,000 a month. No, I can do it, I just gotta stay in the hunt. Grab some snacks and some fluids and a couple hands of blunts. I play through the fourth quarter, I don't play in the punt. Gotta make another couple $100,000 a month. Watch me. No, I can do it, I just gotta stay in the hunt. Grab some snacks and some fluids and a couple hands of blunts. I play through the fourth quarter, I don't play in the punt. Watch me, son. If words to cut, I got lots of swords. I'm old school like a harpsichord. I'm no fool, I'm with the gods and lords. A cold brew that's quality hops, of course. This for the crews that's tired of mopping the floors. If you still with the carrots and sticks, all of the merits and tricks, the clock punches and free lunches when you coming on Sundays. I'm sorry, my dudes, this song ain't for you. Just keep on working till you eating angel food. I'll come home and crank on the news. This for the creeds with the LLCs, yeah. The board of directors that make the directors, yeah. The sole proprietors that pray for protection, and the ones with the solid business plans that's looking like cake to investors. You do a disservice when you wait for perfection. That picture doesn't exist, but doesn't dismiss. I insist, as you miss it, you fix it, you get it. Wise words I once heard from a seasoned detective. Things a little different once you change your perspective. Look at me now, gotta make another couple $100,000 a month. No, I can do it, I just gotta stay in the hunt. Grab some snacks and some fluids and a couple hands of blunts. I play through the fourth quarter, I don't play in the punt. Watch me stun. Watch me stun. Watch me stun. Watch me stun. I barely go to school, was too impatient with it. But they said I had to do it, I'ma fake was finished. Man, that's nothing, I start a company and take percentage.